Leader of the third party.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Last week, the incoming Premier said, and I quote, "We cannot continue to subsidize fossil fuels. We cannot continue to expand fossil fuel infrastructure and hit our climate goals," end quote. This seems like a pretty clear statement, Honourable Speaker, but I would like to get it on the record in the House, through you, to the Minister of Mines. Can he assure the public that there will be no Phase 2 expansion of LNG Canada?
Minister of Energy and Mines.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. In fact, our government eliminated the largest fossil fuel subsidy in BC, the Deep Well Royalty Program. We've also eliminated other outdated and efficient programs such as the marginal well, the ultra-marginal well, the low productivity well rate production, and the clean growth infrastructure royalty programs. Those royalty programs have been eliminated. And in fact, that was noticed, and we received some recognition from the members of the public. This one may be familiar. Let me read it, and I'll identify the person afterwards. Kudos to the Ministry of Energy, Mines and Low Carbon Innovation and the BC NDP for eliminating the Deep Well Royalty Credit in BC. This was the most egregious BC Liberal oil and gas sector handout BC ever saw. Literally, BC gave out more credits than it earned in royalties. That was Andrew Weaver on Twitter, May 23rd, 2022.
Leader of the third party, supplemental.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I guess some things never get tired for this government. However, what they aren't tired of is not answering questions, apparently. I didn't ask about oil and gas subsidies. I asked about whether LNG Canada will be expanding into Phase 2, which would be entirely contrary to what their incoming Premier has said on the record, which is we cannot continue to expand fossil fuel infrastructure and hit our climate goals. Let's see what others are saying about this government's climate record. Last week, they got an F on their climate change report. They have known who the incoming Premier will be for months. They all support him. Surely they should be able to answer this straightforward question about his priorities, and I'm assuming their government priorities. But perhaps because this government is meeting with the owners of LNG Canada regularly, and LNG Canada very much intends to expand to Phase 2 of its plant, despite the fact that LNG Canada will make it impossible for us to meet our targets, despite the fact that this province is experiencing climate crises on all fronts. Honourable Speaker, my question again is to the Minister of Energy and Mines. Will there be an expansion to Phase 2 of LNG Canada in BC?
Minister.
Thank you very much. In this very turbulent time when energy security is vital around the world, and yet our climate targets are very important as well, it's vital that we strike a balance between those two objectives. As government, our role is not only to work with LNG projects on their permit requests, but importantly to ensure that these projects benefit all British Columbians by providing jobs and training opportunities for the people who call British Columbia home, providing British Columbians with a fair return on our resources, respecting and forming meaningful partnerships with First Nations, and meeting world-class standards and best practices for environmental protection. And by that I mean our Clean BC program. No project will proceed unless it fits within the emission targets set out by Clean BC.